author of the books of 9 and 10 Penance, and tonight I will be doing a chapter reading from my book. Tonight I decided to change things up a bit, and I came down to the old courthouse museum. So I hope it's not too noisy, but the bell will go off, 9 bells here shortly, and then I'll start reading from the book. But anyways, I'm reading from book 1 in the series, the books of 9 and 10 Penance. There we are, and we are quite a ways through the book now. I think we're 3/4 of the way through. Oh, there it goes. Can you see it ringing? We'll wait for it to pass. Well, that's nice. Got these two to read to tonight. Okay, now we can get on with it. Now, to recap from last week where we left off, let's see, Fragonard borrowed the brush, painted a garden to life that quickly tried to eat him, and then his father fell deathly ill and had to be painted onto a canvas. And unfortunately, in the next chapter, we found out that it wasn't his father was in good health, but Botticelli had deceived poor young Fragonard into believing that Botticelli was his father, but then he found out that not to be true. And in fact, his father was imprisoned in the painting, in the portrait, still stuck in the painting. Fragonard was captured and locked away. But before he was locked away, he met Ethan Bourdon, a man who said he could help. And now, this is a short chapter tonight, we are back at the museum. And back to our time, 500 years later. So Fragonard is talking with young Stefan Vermeer, the boy listening to his story. Actually, I think I'll walk over here. And this chapter is called Dancers in Blue. And, oh boy, I want to say I remember the artist. It's named, all these chapters are named after a painting from a famous painter in history. But I don't know Dancers in Blue if that is Picasso or another character. But either way, you guys came here to listen to me read another chapter, so that's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. Poor Fragonard has just been locked away and he's feeling kind of down. So he's reflecting on that memory. Fragonard pulled a hanky out of his pocket and shed a few tears inside the canvas. Choo! I'm sorry. I'm going to be an oily mess. You will have to excuse me for a moment before I continue. This part of the story always brings me to tears. It's all right. I'm sure the story gets better. Yes, I wrote that line. Oh, I'll be fine. My place is here, inside this canvas. Besides, I've had centuries to deal with my fate. The people you meet and the ones who walk by gawking at you make for much laughter later on in the evening. I'll bet you gave up all hope when you were locked away. No, not all hope, though I will admit I was feeling quite down on myself. So tell me, do you still feel your dreams are impossible? Well, not impossible, I guess. You guess? Well, what's standing in your way? How do I overcome my father not allowing me to paint? No matter what I do, he won't let me pursue what I love. Flip to the next page here. There's a painting that should be hanging up right around the corner in that other room. I often hear people oohing and awing when they discover such a masterpiece. Why don't you go fetch it for me? Okay, what does it look like? It's called Peace Bringing Back Abundance. I would describe it to you, but it should be fairly easy to spot with its vibrant color scheme. All right, hold on, I'll go get it. Stefan walked around the corner and saw the painting glowing under the museum lights. He pulled it off the hook and then brought it back to the pile. Do you want me to lean it against the wall with the others? Yes, please do. Put it in between the Millet and the Syrah, if you will. Stefan leaned the painting back and said, There, Fragonard, can you see it? Ah, just fine. What a breathtaking work of art. I haven't seen this painting in almost 200 years, and yet it hasn't aged a day or lost 1 ounce of its ambience. So what's so special about this painting? It's not what's special about this piece in particular, though it is quite lovely, but who painted it. Her name was Elizabeth Lebrun. I once hung on a wall in a room full of her portraits. That's how I learned so much about her. What's her story anyways? She was ousted during the French Revolution for speaking her mind. Spent nearly 12 years in exile because of it. She continued to paint, despite living life on the lam. I recall one evening a cannonball went flying through the wall, almost took out the portrait of one Claude Joseph Vernet. The poor soul. She kept painting, even though she had to leave her home? Well, of course she did. What else would an artist do? If the magic is within you, it isn't something that can be easily shooed away like that fly you bravely hunted down earlier. Yeah, but if I go down the path of my father, then he'll be happy with me. If you follow in his footsteps and do as he says, you will succeed just like him, and true, he will be happy with you. I don't doubt it. But if you want to pursue your dreams, then you must create your own footprints in the sand. It's as simple as that. Yeah, but I don't even know if I'll succeed. I could fail and never become a painter. Absurd. If you get knocked down, you get back up on that horse and ride again. Just think of the life of Winslow Homer. He was 48 when he realized what his true passion was. What was his passion? Well, take a look for yourself. One of his paintings should be hanging up in that other room. Why, I'd never believe it myself with the descriptions people give. Come to think of it, you'll have to find this one on your own. Get there and live now. What the hell? Wow. How will I know what I'm looking for? I've never heard anyone describe such a painting the way they do this one. It's full of chaos and turmoil. Just follow the raunchy smell of fish heads and you'll find it. I don't think I can smell, okay. I'll go look for it. Stefan wandered into the other room. Wrong voice. Stefan wandered into the other room. In the corner there were grayish-blue colors swaying at a tilt. It almost spoke to him, the dramatic enchantment of the waves breaking against a boat caught in the crosswinds of a mighty storm. He lifted the painting off the wall and brought it back to Fragonard. The Gulf Stream, truly a gift to behold. I can almost taste the salt in the air and feel the warm ocean breeze blowing over my face. What about those sharks beneath his feet? Yes, but there is a calm about him, this man struggling to keep for his own. Tally-ho! It's as if he's been through this before. It takes time and patience to handle seas as rough as this. I don't have the experience he does, and I don't want to get eaten by sharks. Poor Homer. Worked twice as hard at something he had no passion for to feed himself throughout his life. But when he finally pursued what he loved, the sea, it didn't seem like work at all. I think I understand now. So is there anything else on your mind? Sorry. Say, while I was over there, I saw a painting I really liked. We'll go and fetch it then. There's no one here to nod their head in objection and tell you otherwise. Okay, I'll be right back with it. This one is really cool. Stefan ran off to go get the painting. He brought it back to Fragonard and leaned it against the wall with the others. What a rare find you have there, young Stefan. It's an Edgar Degas, I believe. Dances in Blue. There it is. That's the name of the artist, and he's a fine artist as well. You've heard of him? Oh, why yes, they had an exhibit of his work here back in 1917. Do you know anything about him? Degas was a loner. His father pushed him down the path of a lawyer. Try as he may, he just wasn't cut out for that type of work. You can follow in your father's footsteps, but the real you will never get a chance to blossom. I don't think I'd be good at anything else. What I mean is, I don't think I'd have the same passion as I do. I don't think I'd have the same passion as I do when I paint. No, you wouldn't. I suppose I should finish with my story now. I seem to have forgotten exactly where I left off. Do you happen to recall? I remember you telling me about how your father was really ill and had to be painted onto a canvas. All the kingdom's paint was then placed in a mystical closet, and then a magic lock was painted over it. You were locked away, but then you met this mysterious man who said he could help. Ah, yes. Now I remember where I left off. And there we go. That's the end of that chapter. And tomorrow night, I don't know where. Fortunately, we have an unsavory comment again. I can't seem to avoid these. But anyways, the next chapter is called The Desperate Man. And that's if you've ever heard of that painting. Oh gosh, now I can't think of who painted it. But it's a very famous painting, and we'll get into Ethan Bourdon's part of the story. Let me get up once. So, it was kind of a short chapter tonight, but that's okay. We'll see where I end up tomorrow. I don't know if I'll come back to the museum or not. It would be fun. But it is a long walk down here to the old courthouse museum. But I rather enjoy it. I was thinking over at Lyons Park and go sit at the foot of Lyons Park where Mary Lyons herself is actually buried. Well, I think we have some pigeons here. So I hope you've enjoyed the story up to this point. Bourdon is an interesting character, and I don't want to give too much away, but these next few chapters I really, really enjoyed. And that's what I'll be reading, Ethan Bourdon's story this week. My book, as always, it's up on Amazon. Amazon Kindle right now for $2.99. So please go check it out. Give this struggling author a chance, and give it a review. And the book 2 is up there as well, The Greatest Storm, a romantic comedy, for $2.99. The third novel, The Tale of Yelizelsky and the Unicorn, I do not have a Kindle version of it yet. But anyways, I hope you'll go check out at least those 2 books, and leave a review. Let me know what you think, and I hope you guys are enjoying these live videos that I'm doing. The comments I get on here are usually pretty bizarre. Not always, but it's just, I don't know, that's just the way it is. But I've tried different times to do these chapter readings. I was doing them at 10 o'clock at night, but I wanted to get to sleep earlier, so I'm doing them at 9 o'clock now. And it's been really hot, so, but I like doing them outdoors. Anyways, thanks for listening. Let's see, what else do I got? Yeah, so I post poetry on here. You know, stay tuned for that. Check out the poetry I've got. Subscribe to my channel, as they say. But I hope you've enjoyed this story about the boy trapped in the painting. And on that note, I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. And if you know any young people, please share the story with them. Thanks for listening.